Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रीला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। गुरु महाराज की जय। All glories to the assembled devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Nandapriya Narmada Devi Dasi from Charlotte, welcoming all of you to the Bhakti Sangha conference call. I thank everyone for attending this session. Please forgive me for interrupting your ecstatic chanting. I would like to read the 10 offenses to the holy names which are to be avoided, written by Srila Vyasadeva in the Padma Purana. Number 1, to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. Number 2, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of the Lord Vishnu. Number 3, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. Number 4, to blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. Number 5, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. Number 6, to give some interpretations to the holy name of the Lord. Number 7, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. Number 8, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, Karma Khanda. Number 9, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Number 10, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining the Bhakti Sangha conference call today. Let us move to our next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all have joined the call this morning?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Ravindax Das from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Arvindaksh Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranams. Please accept humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna, welcome to the call, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Nandapriya Narmada Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas. Welcome back, Mataji. Hope you will continue the service. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavad Pranams. Please accept humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Need your prayers, Mataji, to continue the service. Hare Krishna. Definitely, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Sri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devidasi from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yashamati Priya Mataji, Dandavad Pranams. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Thank you, Mataji, for joining the call. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anand Priya Narmada Mataji, Yoga Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Ran. Hare Krishna. Happy
Hare
to see
Krishna.
you for a long time.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, Dandavad Pranams. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Thank you, Mataji, for joining the call. Very happy to hear your voice too, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Are there any other devotees who would like to introduce themselves? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have Her Grace Krishna Kumari Mataji with us to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah, prior to handing over the call to Mataji, I would like to ask Sureshwar Sham Prabhuji to give a brief introduction about Mataji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Yeah, welcome to the call, Prabhuji, and go ahead and give a brief introduction about Mataji. Please take over, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Her Grace Krishna Rupa Devi Dasi joined ISKCON in 1998 and was initiated by His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj in 1999. It is ISKCON Pune Temple. Mataji has over 10 years of experience in IT industry, worked for companies like HP, Dell, Wipro, former teacher with Delhi Public School. And Mataji gives motivational classes on stress management, art of positive thinking, time management, personality development, especially for children, youth, and corporates. She guides many young children, women, grihasthas in leading meaningful life of peace and happiness. So current services include in ISKCON, Mataji is teaching Bhakti Shastri classes, Bhakti Vaibhav, ISKCON Disciples course, SB study circles, and short seminars online, Sunday Kids School, and Bhakti Puruksha groups at our home. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranam, back to you Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for the introduction. Looks like Mataji is not yet on the call. Any devotees who would like to introduce themselves? Yeah, Mataji is there.
Mataji is not on the call, right?
Oh,
You saw
Mataji-
Krishna Kumari Mataji maybe.
Yeah,
No,
I got confused.
that's
Krishna
Mataji is
Kumari
coming in 2
Mataji.
minutes, Mataji. She's
Yes,
coming.
I got confused with Krishna.
Yeah, she's Krishna Rupa Mataji.
Krishna Rupa Mataji. Yeah. Devotees, anyone would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead. If Mataji joins, if not, we can do chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Mataji on the call. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dandavat pranams. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Thank you so much, Mataji, for giving your very valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. We are reading from the Canto 8, Chapter 1, Sloka number 14 onwards, Matajis. Whenever you're ready, please take over the call, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so much, Mataji. I'm ready. Absolutely, I'm ready.
Please do.
So just give me 1 minute. I'll quickly share my screen. So we're on 8th Canto, chapter number 1, 14. These are the prayers of Manu. We'll quickly chant the Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakhaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschate Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So dear devotees, thank you so much for joining in and giving your valuable time for this morning Bhagavatam class. And we had a very wonderful actually canto over here. If you see this particular canto is a very beautiful canto. Now, actually, this chapter is going to speak about, Swayambhu Manu's prayers. And I'm sure that the previous speakers must have given a very nice synopsis. But this particular shloka, a lot many teachings and learnings, we can see that what Swayambhu Manu is praying. And he says, अथाग्रे ऋषय कर्माणि ईहन्ते अकर्म हेतवे इह मानो हि पुरुष प्रायो अहीनम प्रपद्यते. So Swayambhu Manu says, therefore, to enable people to reach the stage of activities that are not tinged by fruit of results, great saints first engage people in fruit of activities. For unless one begins by performing activities as recommended in the Shastras, one cannot reach the stage of liberation or activities that produce no reactions. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The purport is a little longer. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna advises Yagnartha Karmano Anyatra Lokoyam Karma Bandhana. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed, otherwise the work binds one to this material world. Generally, everyone is attracted to hard labor for becoming happy in this material world. But all the various activities are going on all over the world simply for the sake of happiness. Unfortunately, only problems are being created from such sort of activities. Therefore, it is advised that active persons engage in activities of Krishna consciousness, which are called yagya, because then they will gradually come to the platform of devotional service. Yagna means Lord Vishnu, the Yagna Purusha, the enjoyer of all sacrifices. Bhoktaram Yagna Tapasam, Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. So over here, if you can see this screen of mine, so I hope everybody is able to see the screen.
Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, we can see your
So
PPT.
we have karma and we have akarma. So karma can be of four. Karma have four meanings. One is action, one is reaction, and system of action or reaction, and one type of action. You can say some pious activity somebody does. They call it as karma. And akarma, can have two meanings. One is action, and one is action that produces no reaction, which means what? That, for example, if I say that somebody wants to, somebody is, we can say that when, or example, I can give an example is that when we produce action on our behalf, that produces reaction. But when we do action on Krishna's behalf, then that will produce no reaction. Like, for example, if a particular soldier, is killing the enemies on the war field, the soldier will not be punished, but he'll be rewarded. But when the same soldier, he'll kill somebody in his own village or in his neighborhood, then he will be arrested and he'll be put under bars. He'll be put for the punishment. So there are certain actions which we do on behalf of the Lord, then there is no reaction. But if we do it on our behalf, then we do get bound by it. So when Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita also, the 4th chapter, he says that karmanya pashed. So that means what? Akarma. That is no reaction. So some activities are external activities and which will have no karmic reaction. So like when Krishna is telling Arjuna that Arjuna, you fight, and your fighting will not lead to any karmic reaction. Why? Because you're going to fight on my behalf. So even if you see in Prabhupada's life also, that when Prabhupada went to the West, and when he went to the West, he being a sannyasi, he went to the West. And generally sannyasis, they're restricted to go to the West because they'll get contaminated or some material desires may just pop up and they might just get bound by some karmas. But Prabhupada said that, no, I'm not going there for some sense gratification or some material sense enjoyment. I'm going over there for service. I'm going there to give the message of the Lord, and I'm going to share that message of the Supreme Lord with everybody. And that's how going to the US, going to your own country, where he, he actually went to a contaminated place and turned that place into Vaikuntha. So now you cannot say that America is a contaminated place. You will say that America is now turned into a Vaikuntha, because he manifested that spiritual world wherever he went. So when he says, when Krishna says, akarmani cha karma yah. So akarma, but no external activity. So when you say no external activity, because see, karma means sometimes, karma means reaction. Okay. So when there is no external activity, then there can be reaction. So when Arjuna said that I want to silently meditate and, I don't want to get indulged in this prescribed work, otherwise it's going to lead me to some karmic reaction. So Krishna had told in the beginning only of the 3rd chapter that, see, if you give up this external world, it is like, you'll be like a renouncer. But, if you're internally meditating on these sense objects, So then you will get karmic bondage. Why? Because all the time we'll be coming to that particular thing by the end of the session. So, and in that way, Sri Krishna was talking about some moral standard. And in the fourth chapter, then he's talking about from the karmic point of view. So Arjuna is saying that, see, going to the forest will not cease him from karmic reaction, because being a Kshatriya, he's inclined to do his Kshatriya prescribed duties. Like, for example, if a patient, he's, dying and the doctor says, no, I don't want to give any medicine. The doctor says, what did I do? I did not do anything. But you're not doing anything from the doctor's behalf is a very big offense to his own profession. And that is why, they call it, in the US term, they call it guilt by negligence. So, or like, thieves are plundering and the police does not do anything. Like, so then even the police is, legally culpable. So Arjuna, being a Kshatriya, if he's not going to do his duty, he will be culpable or he'll be bound, because internally he'll be contemplating. So somebody is renounced, but internally he's contemplating that, will cause bondage. And, he will try to see that this is as a motivation. It's like, it's not really true renounced motivation. So renunciation means only that whatever you're renouncing, you renounce it on your own free will, and you're renouncing it for the pleasure of the Lord. Like with us also, if you see, there are so many things we have given up, right? Whatever we were doing previously, whatever activities we had done previously before coming to Krishna consciousness, those all activities were binding us. But now after coming into Krishna consciousness, those activities are not binding us. Like, for example, you just take an activity of eating, right? When I'm eating, so if I'm not eating food that is offered to the Lord, then it's going to bind me. But if I'm eating food that is offered to the Supreme Lord, that's not going to bind me, because I'm actually eating food that is offered to Vishnu or Krishna. Like, so Krishna is saying that go beyond the externals and go beyond the superficial and look more deeper into what is happening. And likewise, he can take some action. So Krishna is advising Arjuna to be wise enough. And that is why Krishna says that you do yajna for me. You perform yajna for me. So then he's saying, just give me a minute. Pause. So then he's saying that a karma can have two meanings, is what I just now spoke. So then in the purport, where Prabhupada is talking about, he's talking about yagna. Yagnat karma no netra lokoyam karma bandhana tadarpang karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. So he's saying that you perform actions for the purpose of sacrifice. And the people of the world are bound by actions. So then, if you are doing actions for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord, then you'll be free from the results of those actions. The results of those actions are not going to bind you into this material world. This is what he's saying. So now if you see yagya has a form, and yagya has a principle. So yagya as a form means what? That you do yagya. So there is a havan kund, and you have the fire. Then you have, it's a form. You have some oblations, like clarified butter. Then you have some sandalwood sticks and all. That is the form. Okay. But the principle is sacrifice. So what I would have enjoyed, I have given it up for the sake of the Lord. That is sacrifice. So yajna is representing sacrifice. Like, for example, even yoga has a form. Yoga means, for example, the form of yoga is that you do some exercises as such, and you meditate, and you do some asanas, right? But in principle, yoga means the connection of the soul with the super soul. So when I'm saying that yajna has to be done for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord, and that's how yajna in principle means only sacrifice. Sacrifice means what? Which is detrimental to my Krishna consciousness, which is detrimental for my soul coming near to the Supreme Lord. That whatever is detrimental, that I am going to sacrifice for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. So this is actually, what he's trying to say over here. And then now, okay, over here, I just have another little explanation, which I have not put it down over here, but I would like to go to this particular shloka as such. Give me a minute. I'd like to go to this shloka. Yeah. So when Krishna, he says, I'm not able to get that number over here. It's like, okay, so when Krishna says, Yagnat Karmano, so if one should do work for the purpose of yagya, and he says that Anyatra, any other work which is done, or if it is not done, loko ayam karma bandhana. So if any other karma is done, other than for the, for pleasing the Supreme Lord, then yagna, loko ayam karma bandhana, one will become bound by that particular karma. So then that is why he's saying that tad artha karma kaunteya. Then he's saying tad artham. Tad artham means what? That yagnartha, for the sake of yagya, you do karma. And then you should do karma, but karma then what? That karma you should do which is going to free you from that bondage. It's not going to bind you. So that is why saying mukta sangha samachara. Then when you're going to do work which is not going to bind you, then you will always remain free. Mukta sangha samachara. Then you'll always stay free from the bondage, and then you're not going to get bound by it. So if you see that when we say that when we say that when we are putting oblations is in that particular fire sacrifice, so Rig Veda says Deva Nama Paro Vishnu Ayam Agni Tadantra Serva Devatas. He says, so Rig Veda is saying that all these devatas are there, the demigods are there, but the supreme devata is Vishnu, and the lowest devata or the lowest of the demigods is Agni. And in between the Supreme Lord and the Agni, there are many other demigods also. So the highest and the most transcendental Supreme Lord is Lord Vishnu, who is very, very difficult to, reach. And the easiest demigod to reach is actually Agni Dev. So now through Agni Dev, the sacrifices can be offered to all the different demigods. Okay. And then that reaches to the Supreme Lord, that is to Vishnu. Like, for example, somebody has a credit card. Okay. And we have this credit card system. Of course, you have it in US also, this credit card system. So somebody just puts money and gets a credit card or a debit card. And somebody who does not know a particular system about the debit card or credit card, he might just say that, oh, you have given, $1 lakh and you just got a small plastic card. But then somebody can definitely explain that, no, this money is not lost. It is there and it is here. The money is here through this particular card and I can spend that much $1 lakh a year. So like that also, we can make sacrifice in the fire, but it is not lost. It is just lost from the material vision. It reaches the Lord and we will benefit, we will definitely benefit, like, our past credits, material and spiritual benefits will get. So, for example, I could have eaten whatever is offered in that particular fire sacrifice, right? So, but no, I have sacrificed, and I have given it to the Supreme Lord. So, Krishna is talking about the principle of yagya. And this principle of yajna, it is a principle of yajna. It is not the form of yajna. Like when we say about yoga also, yoga is a principle connecting with the soul to the super soul. And this principle of sacrifice, so what I have enjoyed, I have given it to the Supreme Lord. And Krishna is telling that when you are doing work as a sacrifice, then you will not be bound. You will be liberated. And that is why do work as a sacrifice. That is why it is not going to bind you. And that's what even the Varnashram system also that is there. The Varnashram system also says that work for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord and not for your own sense gratification. And that is why even the Gita. So if you see, even the Varnashram system is actually meant to please the Supreme Lord. And in the very next, if you see, section, Krishna is going to speak about that only. He says that Atha Pumbe Dvija Shreshta Varnashrama Vibhagasa Swanishtasya Dharmasya Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. So the Varnashram system is meant for Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. The Varnashram system is designed or organized only so that we can please the Supreme Lord in every activity. Like even from the day you start, okay, the from the day you start of the day you were born, or even right from the mother's womb, or even before entering the mother's womb, that everything can be done through Garbhoday Samskara for pleasing the Supreme Lord by the respective parents of the children. So, for example, somebody is looking in for very pure souls, and pure souls are also there and they're looking in. But if through proper Garbhoday Samskar, then a pure soul enters the womb of the mother. But every activity we can actually make it for pleasing the Supreme Lord. Right from waking up in the morning, you immediately say, thank you, Krishna. You've given me such a beautiful day, another nice day for me. And I'm so thankful. You give me such wonderful, association of devotees. You've given me such wonderful, house to stay. There are so many people who do not have a house to stay in. Give me such wonderful relatives as such. And all the facilities for doing, bhakti. So every activity that is there, even right from brushing your teeth to bathing, to, cooking, to offering food, to going to the office, earning money, interacting with people, everything can be done for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. And if we see the hand of the Supreme Lord in every act, what that we do, that okay, the Supreme Lord is there is an intervention of the Supreme Lord in that particular act. So then that is called, you're trying to please the Supreme Lord. The consciousness is developed in such a way that yes, I want to please the Supreme Lord. And then he says that all the ashrams that are there, whether it is a brahmachari ashram, the grahastha ashram, or the vanaprastha ashram, or the sannyas ashram, these all ashrams are actually created by the Supreme Lord to awaken love for him. So if the brahmanas are chanting the mantras, but the perfection of karma kand is ultimately to come to the lotus feet of Lord Hari. Or even the karma kanda puja, they start only with some mantras, Hari Om, and then they will eventually they will come to the Supreme Lord Hari. And Hari means the one who takes away all your inauspiciousness. So if you see, even in the Krishna book, where even these Yajnik Brahmana wives, the Brahmanas were doing the Yajna, but the practical application was done by the Yajnik Brahmanas. Or even in Chaitanya Charitamrita, if you see, so Advaita Acharya is actually giving Haridas Thakur the biggest banana leaf. That particular, that particular yajna that a Brahmana is doing. So why actually Advaita Acharya gave Haridas Thakur the biggest banana leaf? Because he felt that he is the most purest Brahmana on earth. And all others were pretty much amazed that, how come Advait Acharya is giving Haridas Thakur, being a Muslim, he's getting the biggest banana leaf. So that way, we are trying to see that whatever work I am doing, I need to just check whether I'm pleasing the Supreme Lord or am I pleasing my own senses. So if I'm pleasing my senses, it's going to bind me. But if I'm pleasing the Supreme Lord, it is going to please him. And that is why in the very, see, of course, all this I have picked up from the, purport only of Srila Prabhupada. So that is why what is Prabhupada saying in the purport after this part, when he says that some siddhir hari toshanam. So the goal of all the work is to actually awaken love for the Supreme Lord. But how to awaken that love? Then he is saying that Naishkaryanam api achyut bhava varjitam na shobhate jnanam alam nirjanam kutah punah swadat abhadramishware na charpitam karma yad api akarmanam. So he is saying that Naishkarma jnanam api. So even at the stage of jnana, without the bondage of karma, and it is not glorious, it is devoid of bhakti, achyuta bhava. So gyan is also devoid of achyuta bhava, that is, there is no bhav for the Supreme Lord. And then even if it is destroyed ignorance, if gyan is destroyed ignorance, but still, it is not pleasing to the Supreme Lord. Or Ishwari na charpitam, when it is not offered, even jnana and vairagya if you have, but if that is not utilized in the service of the Supreme Lord. See, there are so many people who have got so much of knowledge, right? People work so much hard. There is so much knowledge. Some people have done PhDs, and some people have, working so much, getting knowledge. They are actually going to schools, colleges, and everything. They're working so hard. But that knowledge is not going to please the Supreme Lord. That knowledge is not, see, bhakti means service to the Supreme Lord, right? The definition of bhakti is only, right? That anukulyasa sankalpa pratikulya virvajanam, and anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karma navritam anukulya Krishna anushīlanam bhakti ruchyate. So when you're saying that anya abhilashita shunyam, you don't have any other abhilasha, you don't have any other desire other than to please the Supreme Lord, that bhakti is uttama bhakti. But over here, when he's saying jnana, jnana is actually, he's having material jnana. He's having this jnana that, okay, I'm just, gaining knowledge, so that to satisfy my senses and gaining this particular knowledge, what will happen is, I will actually, merge into the Brahman. So everything, that activity that he's doing for himself. He's not doing it for pleasing the Supreme Lord. And that is why that gyan which is not offered, then that gyan is of no use if it is not going to please the Supreme Lord. So then he's saying that whatever knowledge is devoid of fruit of exchange does not appear wonderful without bhakti. So even gyan, dhyan, karma, if they are not decorated with bhakti, or bhakti element is not included in it, then it's not going to appear wonderful. Or even the jnana yogis or the ashtanga yogis, at every step, if they don't take the help of bhakti, so bhakti element has to be there, then only the jnanis and the ashtanga yogis will get success in their path. If they do not take the help of bhakti, then they do not get success. So, in which one thinks that Lord has no form of knowledge and bliss. So he's saying achyuta bhava. So even if bhakti is present in jnana, right, and one thinks that Lord and bhakti are mixed with maya, then that does not produce liberation. So though devoid of ignorance, nirjanam, though one has realized knowledge, what is the use of that knowledge? Why? Because it is devoid of Krishna bhakti. Or it is devoid of the intention to please the Supreme Lord. So what then to speak of, some unrealized scriptural knowledge? Somebody is, learning so many books and so many things, but one should not say that you can achieve liberation just by destroying some ignorance. So by the Lord's inconceivable energy of the Lord, the destroyed ignorance will arise again. So by the external energy that is there, the destroyed ignorance will arise again. And for that example, what I can say is that when somebody is taking some normal knowledge, okay, some bookish knowledge, and he's thinking that, okay, okay, I was not aware of Chat GPT, I was not aware of AI, and now he learns Chat GPT, he learns AI. So he's thinking, oh, my, ignorance is destroyed. But time and again, there will be some other knowledge that is, produced, right? And he will be ignorant about that. So again, it will arise that he still remains ignorant. But if he learns the science of the Supreme Lord, if he learns the science of God realization, that's where actually he's going to cut his ignorance, and he's going to be in full knowledge that this world is temporary, and this world is dukhalem ashashvatam, right? This world is full of miseries also, and this world is temporary, and you need to get out, from this particular material world. And whatever actions staying in this material world I'm doing, I need to do it for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. So time and again, I'm saying pleasure of the Supreme Lord. Why? Because sometimes it seems that even the Jivan Mukta person, even liberated person, they get bound by karma if they're committing offense at the lotus feet of the Lord, who has greater power also, and he has got inconceivable powers also. So they also get bound. And that is why even the Gyanis, the Ashtang yogis, the Dhyan yogis, the Karma yogis, they all have to take the support of bhakti. Until unless they will not take the support of bhakti, they will not get the results of their chosen path. So even liberated souls, sometimes, they are subject to birth and death. But the yogis who are surrendering to the Supreme Lord, they are not touched by karma. And that is why the effect of Gyan is destruction of karma. So when Krishna is saying that, you can burn all your karmas by the fire of knowledge, and all your karmas could be really burnt right from, the seed form itself. And that's why when a particular person takes the right knowledge, see, there are two types of knowledge. We also know that one is the material knowledge, one is the spiritual knowledge. So when a particular person is taking spiritual knowledge, that time, by that fire of knowledge, all his karmas will be burned to ashes. Not any other material knowledge, not any other material jnana. But that is not so wonderful, because it is concerning, it's in the Bhakti Chandra is saying that one who does not follow the Lord in his chariot when he moves becomes a Brahma Rakshasa. And even though he has destroyed all the karmas with the fire of knowledge. So now, why is he saying that he does not follow the Lord in the chariot? Because one who does not follow in the footsteps of the previous acharyas, or according to the injunctions, then that particular person becomes a Brahma Rakshasa. He's just, even though even he is destroyed all his karmas with the fire of knowledge. Of course, if a particular person has got spiritual knowledge, he'll definitely know that what is the importance of Rath Yatra. But if that person does not have right spiritual knowledge, he won't know the importance of Rath Yatra. And that is that's called spiritual knowledge. And it is also, said that later on, after reaching a particular height of liberation with great difficulty, he might eventually fall down also, because he has not worshipped the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So Gyan, which is devoid of real bhakti to the Lord, And the offense caused by thinking that the Lord is material is unavoidable. And the Gyanis generally think that, okay, this bhakti is something, which is material. I should not take too much heed into bhakti. But they don't know that taking help of bhakti is only going to help them to get to their goal, whatever goal they want to achieve as such. So if such gyan devoid of bhakti is useless, then what to speak of karma, which is filled with desires of enjoyment, which is causing suffering, and suffering means abhadram. Abhadram means which is not auspicious, and shashvat at all times, eternal during the practice, and that they're receiving that result also. So even if karma is without goal, the goal of enjoyment is akarmana, because it is not offered to the Supreme Lord. So in the material world, people want to really enjoy a lot, and they have full desires of enjoying, going for picnics, parties, having extramarital affairs, and even at old age, people join some laughter clubs, and people want to do all nonsense things. But they do not know that this particular activity that I'm doing is, or my desires also can be offered at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So, for example, somebody has a desire of, say, building a house. But if he has a desire of building a house, and if he can dedicate that house for propagating the holy names of the Supreme Lord, so he builds a house and he invites, different people to his home for home programs or satsangs and such, then that desire can turn into a spiritual desire. Or if somebody wants to buy a, car, so he can, of course, definitely drive devotees to the temple, or he can drive his own spiritual master, or he can, carry books and distribute books in that particular car. So we all need to find out that niche that we have and what we are good at, and how we can connect most of the activities towards Krishna. Like, say, for example, I am going for working. Okay, so I'm an IT professional, or I'm a doctor, I'm an engineer, I'm a student, I'm a housewife. Whatever I am does not matter at all. Before starting my work or before starting my job, if I just say, Krishna, I offer whatever I'm going to do is to you today. I'm doing it for your pleasure. And then while working, if you don't remember the Supreme Lord, but the intention before starting that work, or before cooking, or before studying, or before taking up a particular career also, you say, Krishna, I'm offering this career to you. Whatever I will become, I will see to it that I'm going to propagate your holy names. I'm going to, preach. I'm going to distribute books. All that work becomes bhakti. Everything, is offered to the Supreme Lord, and that work does not bind us, and that work becomes bhakti as such. So then, over there in the next, Prabhupada says that even this particular yogi, so this particular yogi, he wants to attain, he wants to cease his actions. But, for the sage, he wants to attain that yogam arukshar munir. Action is said to be the cause of elevation. But this yogi who's already attained, cessation of all the activities, and he's said to be the cause of maintaining that particular state. So he's saying that karma karanam uchyate. So karam uchyate means action is said to be the cause of elevation. So either a particular action elevates you, or either a particular action degrades you. Same action, right? But either it will upgrade you or degrade you. It will elevate you towards the Supreme Lord, or it's going to degrade you down or bind you more. And that is the saying karma karanam uchyate. So when this Ashtanga yogi, he would have practiced Neshkarma yoga for his whole life. So therefore he says that this practitioner of yoga, he's desiring to rise to that stage of meditation. And produces his elevation by some prescribed action of karma. And because that is purifying his particular heart. So this Ashtanga Yogi, so there's a long thing about Ashtanga Yogi. I'm not going to go into much details about it, because this Ashtanga Yogi, either he is the Paramatma meditator. I'm sure, His Grace Balram Shakti Prabhu must have explained in the previous classes in Canto 2 that Ashtanga Yogi, either he has two paths, okay? Either he becomes a Paramatma meditator, or then he becomes or he becomes a Virat Roop meditator. And if he becomes a Paramatma meditator, then he has a chance that he can, become a Bhakta, or he can take up the Bhakti Yoga path. And but if he becomes a Virat Roop meditator, then it is a little longer path as such. Why? Because then from that Virat Roop meditator, then he, jumps to the Paramatma meditator, and then he can jump. So it's a little longer. It will take time for him, but definitely he will reach the Supreme Lord eventually. So, somebody who has attained this steadiness in meditation, and he's maintaining that level of cessation, and all these actions could produce agitation, or the aspirant for steady meditation does not have complete purity of heart. So now here comes the twist actually. So why, though he is steady in his meditation, and he has maintained the level of cessation of all the actions, still he has agitation. And why he has agitation, or he does not have complete purity of heart? Because the Ashtanga Yoga process that is there, so from Yam, Niyam, Asan, as on when you progress, you keep on giving up the previous levels and you rise to the next level. But in Bhakti Yoga, if you see the ladder of Bhakti Yoga that is there, right? Adhav Shraddha, Tatha Bhajana Kriya, Tatha Sadhu Sang, Tatha Bhajana Kriya, Tatha Anartha Nivritti. At all stages, we don't leave our faith. At all stages, we don't leave our Bhajan Kriya. At all stages, we don't leave Sadhu Sangha. At all stages, we do have firm faith. As and when we keep on rising, our faith will not decrease. In fact, our faith will keep on increasing. We have Ruchi, we have Asakti for the Supreme Lord, and ultimately Prema. So when we reach the goal, or when we reach Krishna Prema level, we don't give up our Bhajana Kriya. We don't give up our Nishtha for the Supreme Lord, or Shraddha for the Supreme Lord. We don't give up association of devotees. So for us, the sadhan and the sadhya, the means and the goals are the same. Over here in this material world, I am doing Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. And in the spiritual world, when I reach, there also I am going to do Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam only. So means and the goal are the same. So for here, you can say that way, that for me, this material world is a practice ground where I practice, the ninefold devotional activities over here, or the angas of bhakti over here. And then I became very strong and firm. And that's how I am transported to the Supreme Lord's abode as such. So it is a practice ground. So here also I have to do the seva. There also I have to do service. Both the places I'm going to do service. But your service over here, the service attitude that is there, is going to define your destination over there as such. So this process of linking oneself with the Supreme Lord is called yoga. It may be compared to a ladder for attaining the topmost spiritual realization. This ladder begins from the lowest material condition of the living entity and rises up to self-realization in a pure spiritual life. According to various elevations, different parts of the ladder are known by different names. So, from karma kand to
Mataji,
karmic. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, we are seeing the one slide from long time, Mataji. It's not changing.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. That's why, I was trying to tell you from long time, because we are seeing the only one picture all the time.
Okay.
Ah,
What picture were you all seeing?
only like that.
The page on yoga.
Yeah.
This one?
No.
That is initial
Mataji, this one.
pages. Yeah, this one.
This one you all were seeing?
No,
The
next.
next page, Mataji.
This one?
No. Or the previous one page. Yeah.
This
That was where we were.
okay, yagya as a form and principle. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, what I'll do is I'll be sending this particular PPT, to Shamagori Mataji. Shamagori Mataji can definitely share this to the other devotees also, and they can utilize it wherever in whatever service they would like to utilize it for. So then he's saying, goal of all works is awakening love for the Supreme Lord, and goal of all works is awakening love for the Supreme Lord. And the Srimad Bhagavatam, people work so hard and they get different knowledge as such, and knowledge of medicine, knowledge of schools, colleges, whatever, they work so hard, but that knowledge is not going to please the Supreme Lord. Or even knowledge devoid of fruitive intentions, like karma yoga, and does not appear very beautiful without bhakti. So any knowledge, any yoga, anything which is devoid, it's actually, they get bound only by their own karmas. And if they commit offense at the lotus feet of the Lord, then that is very difficult for them, to get bind. So that is why he's saying that whatever karmas are there, when a person gets the right knowledge, then by the fire of that knowledge, all the karmas are burnt to ashes. Whatever karmas I have done, it's going to burn. Why? Because true knowledge has come to me now that yes, I belong to Krishna. I'm a part and parcel of Krishna. I'm supposed to serve Krishna. I'm Jivera Surupa Nitere Krishna Das. And that's how the karmas get burnt as such. And this is the Rath Yatra, scene that we said that if he does not know, that he does not follow the Rath Yatra, then he becomes a Brahma Raksha and Rakshasa, and even though he's destroyed all his karmas with the fire of knowledge. And after reaching a particular height also, with great difficulty, they fall down. Why? Because they're not worshipping the Supreme Lord. Like I said that the bhakti element has to be present. So they keep on, enjoying, they have desires, everything, different desires they have. But those enjoyment is going to lead them to suffering only as such. Even if they go to, picnic spots and, they eat and marry and, have extramarital affairs, but that's not going to make them happy at all. But this particular yogi, even if he has ceased all his actions and he's still steady, and this Ashtanga yogi, even if he's practiced Nishkam Karma Yoga for his whole life, but still is not going to purify his heart. See, uh, 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 like, see, for when you do yoga asanas and all, right? You do pranayam and all, it will calm the mind, but it's not going to purify the heart. The yoga asanas are there to keep your mind steady at one place. Like nowadays, people span of attention is very less. So it's going to calm you down, stress free, and it's going to put your cycle of breathing properly as such. But it's not going to purify your heart. Till the time you do not come to the service of the Supreme Lord, and till the time we don't learn to actually please the Supreme Lord, it's not going to pure our heart. And that is why yoga is the process of linking ourself with the Supreme Lord. And that's where I told all the whole ladder I said about, that for us the means and the goal are the same. And this ladder might be divided into different parts. Okay. But the beginning of the ladder is called the Yoga Ruduksh stage, which is the highest rug, is called a Yoga Ruda. It starts from here only. And then I was speaking about this eightfold, system of what do you say, Ashtang Yoga. And if you see over here in this particular, I hope you're able to see this.
Yes,
Very good.
Mataji.
Okay. So see, even in Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar and all now. So for example, when I'm on Yam, okay, and I have perfected Yam and I go to Niyama. So I have to actually give up Yamas. Then I go to Niyam, but the external disciplines I give up. Then when I am following Niyama, the internal disciplines, And when I perfect niyama and go to the asanas, then I give up niyama also. And then I'm on asana. When I perfect asana, then I give up asanas also and I only do pranayam. Which means what? Now those other asanas which were there, uh, uh, any asana, that postures that I was doing, that I leave and I just sit in one place and I do breathing control. So when I perfect breathing control, then, I do pratyahar. So every stage I'm leaving one level. But with us, we don't leave Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Even if we perfect in Smaranam, we don't leave Shravanam and Kirtanam because Shravan and Kirtan leads to Smaranam. If I only do Smaranam, it will be very difficult for me to do Smaranam. So at every stage, I need to do Shravanam and Kirtanam. Or I was giving the example of Adha Shraddha Tatha Sadhu Sang Tatha Bhajana Kriya. Because if I have some Shraddha, then, the sadhus will engage me in Bhajan Kriya. And through that Bhajan Kriya, all my anartha nivritti will happen. And once all my anarthas are, totally vanished off or, wiped off, then I'll have firm faith, nishtha in the Supreme Lord. But till the level of prema, that's what I said, that I will not give up sadhu sang. I will not give up bhajan kriya. I will not lose my nishtha for the Supreme Lord, or my ruchi, or my asakti, or my bhav, or my feelings for the Supreme Lord. Those all will remain the same even till the prema level. In fact, it is said that these stages of, these ladder, my shraddha will keep on increasing to nishtha. My nishtha will keep on increasing till prema level. My sadhu sang that is there, or my bhajan kriya, is going to increase manifold times. Like even in the spiritual world, if you see that if Radharani is trying to please Krishna, right, and Krishna is pleased, so then Krishna wants to please Radharani, a double fold times. Say Radharani has pleased Krishna 10%, Krishna wants to please, Radharani 100-fold times, and Radharani wants to please Krishna 200-fold times, and again Krishna wants to please 400 and 800, and that's how the tug of war goes on, the loving tug of war between Radha and Krishna, and that's how the beauty of Krishna keeps on increasing manifold times. And the love of Srimati Radharani also keeps on increasing manifold times, seeing the happiness of Krishna. She keeps on, keeps on loving him. So for us, the means and the goal are the same. We don't have to give up anything. And we don't fall down also from our position as such, right? Accidental fall downs, Prabhupada says, might happen, but we'll still revive back again, right? And that is why these all activities are, leading to only perfect the mental equilibrium to control the senses. But in Krishna consciousness, as soon as we start, chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, all our senses are automatically controlled. We know, okay, the senses have to be engaged in Krishna's service. So we engage our hands, legs, eyes, ears, nose, everything in Krishna's service. So there we don't have so much of a challenge as such. So when one is accomplished in the practice of meditation, he ceases all disturbing mental activities. And that is why Krishna conscious person is, however, is situated from the beginning on the platform meditation, because he always thinks of Krishna. See, even if, we are at I remember that when we were at a neophyte stage, the first thing in the morning we knew that we have to, our hands should go into the bead bag, right? Because that was the first responsibility and priority that we had set into our lives. Now, because in the initial stage of our life only, we had set it as a priority and responsibility towards Krishna. Now that samskara gets carried forward for your lifetime. Those who form their samskaras of chanting, reading, and doing some service in the initial stage of their Krishna consciousness, those samskaras are carried on for a very long lifetime. And in case those samskaras are not formed in the very first year or the first couple of years of Krishna consciousness, they still can be formed by being consistent, and consistency is the key. So over here he's saying that from the beginning only we are always thinking of Krishna, and because we are constantly engaged, that is why all material activities have been seen. See, in our life also, if you see previously, before coming to Krishna consciousness, I remember we used to go at so many places, moving around on picnics and parties, and so many places as such, but our hearts were completely vacant, or there was a vacuum in our heart, and there was something missing. And my we all, my mother, my sister, and myself, we all used to think, Mummy, we had such a wonderful day and we enjoyed so much, but still, we thought that something is missing, something is missing. And then my mother said that, what's missing actually in our life is actually the bhakti element that is missing. And somehow or the other, we need to connect to the Supreme Lord. And she could identify it because she has been doing the practice of bhakti right from her own childhood. But she knew, but she did not know the path. She knew that the vacuum that is there in our heart is because we are not associated with the Lord properly or connected properly. And when we got connected properly, then our hearts were completely tushti, pushti, santushti, completely satisfied, and we're completely satiated. Of course, the thirst hasn't stopped. The thirst is still, or the quest is still on. And I'm sure it's going to not stop even once we reach the spiritual world, in not maybe in some lifetime, if not this, not in this, but some other lifetime, definitely will be there. So yes, we are constantly engaged, and that is why Krishna says that karmendriyani sayyam yaste manasa smaranam indriyartham vimudatma mithyachara su uchyate. So somebody who's controlling his senses and who remains remembering these sense objects. So for this particular yogi, okay, or somebody who's actually meditating, but he's remembering, that eating palatable dishes, or smelling something good, or hearing some nice music as such. So such a person is called a pretender. This is what Prabhupada is saying. And but it is seen that there are persons who have closed their senses like the ear and are therefore devoid of attraction and repulsion. But over here, this particular yogi, what is he thinking? That he's still remembering the objects of the senses, such as sound, by pretending to meditate. So such a person is called an imposter. See, who is a pretender? He's remembering the objects of senses in his mind and is bewildered. Such a person is called pretender. But who is an imposter? So this particular sannyasi stopped his action senses like his voice. He does not speak, and he just, his mourn. But he's still remembering, even if he does not speak, he's still remembering the objects of the sound. And by the mind pretending to meditate, he's thinking, I'm in a meditating sport, but he's trying to hear something. So such a person is called an imposter. Because of remembering sense objects in the mind, in spite of not extending the senses outward, which arise because of impurity in the mind, through not performing nishkam karma, this ignorant person attempting to control his attraction to material objects does not attain jnana, though he aspires for it. He is called a false performer, a pretender having false control of his speech and other senses, and he is called a cheater. So if you see in this particular picture, these people are called cheaters. Why? Because they're pretending to do, and they're cheating the small, they're cheating the people, and in the name of yoga, or in the name of meditation, or in they're not performing nishkam karma yoga. They have some desires as such. And Prabhupada is saying this only, that some siddhim haritoshanam. If I am performing an action for the Supreme Lord, for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord, then I will not be, my work will not bind me. Any work, even the work of even raising my hand, or even in the work of, walking down to a particular place is also not going to bind me. Do we know that even walking down can bind me? Or even talking can bind me? Or even hearing something can bind me? Why? Because my consciousness, whatever I am intaking through these sense objects, through these senses, and these sense objects that are there, which I'm seeing through my senses or these external senses, they are actually, you know, absorbing. And when they're absorbing something, they're actually affecting my inner mind, which is my inner world, right? So my inner world is filled with filth, or my inner world is filled with so many desires. उसको हिंदी में कहते कचरा भरा हुआ है, you know, मेरे inner world में. But we have we have two worlds. One is my external world and one is my internal world. My external world may be filled with many other things, but my internal world should be filled only with Krishna and the devotees. And the service to the Supreme Lord should be my inner world, right? So when we say sannyas yoga, so sannyas means what? Sannyas means detachment from material things or material objects. And yoga means to connect the Supreme Lord. So here I am detaching myself to the material objects, and here I am connecting myself to the Supreme Lord, and that's called sannyas yoga. But these people don't know what is sannyas yoga. They're still not detached. They're still actually, you know, aspiring for something which is very temporary, and which is not going to you know, relieve them. That's going to bind them as such. So not having the right knowledge, they try to falsely pose themselves as sadhus and yogis and you know, jnani yogis as such. But the bhakti yogi is such a person which has made, who has made Krishna his inner world. And whatever objects he's seeing, or the sense objects he's seeing through his senses, like for example, I'm seeing something with my eyes, I'm hearing something with my ears, I'm tasting something with my tongue, right? So whatever I'm doing with these senses, I need to check that, okay, whatever I'm absorbing, am I absorbing something which is related to Krishna? Okay, can I connect something that is related to Krishna? Of course, if I can connect, then that, you know, is not going to bind me and not going to affect my inner consciousness. Otherwise, if my inner consciousness is polluted, then it is very difficult for me to establish my relationship with Krishna. How will I establish my relationship with Krishna if my consciousness is polluted? See, polluted consciousness means only you have many desires, many desires for sense gratification, not for giving pleasure to the Supreme Lord, for, you know, for giving pleasure to your own senses. But see, pleasure should be given to the senses of whom? The pleasure should be given to the senses of Krishna, right? So now if I am giving pleasure to the senses of Krishna, Rishikena Rishikesha Sevaya Bhakti Ruchate, so then that's going to help me. If I'm just going to gratify my own senses, that's going to bind me. But if I'm going to use the same sense, see, you know, like for example, electricity, okay? Electricity can, Prabhupada says that electricity can be used for cooling also and heating also, right? So similarly, the senses can be used for serving also and gratifying also. So now the choice is between me. Do I want to satisfy my senses, or do I want to satisfy Krishna's senses? So which is the better, you know, bargain? You know, satisfying, of course, Krishna's senses is the better, you know, option as such. So now when I'm satisfying Krishna's senses on a daily basis, then that's how my senses will stop hunting. My senses will stop becoming avyabhicharini. My senses will stop becoming prostitutes. Otherwise, these senses are no less than prostitutes, hunting for, you know, pleasure as such. So let not our senses become prostitutes. Let our senses become servants of the Supreme Lord, or let our senses become the servant to the master of the senses, and that's how we are going to benefit as such. So with that, I'll stop my speech over here. If anybody has any doubts, queries, questions, you all can ask me.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you for such a wonderful class, Mataji. Last one is just like serving our senses is like a prostitute. It's a very high elevated. But thank you, Mataji. Thank you for such a wonderful class, and I like everything. Whatever you have covered, everything from the purport. But one request, Mataji, if you don't mind, and if you have some time, can we read the whole purport, Mataji?
Yes, sure. Yeah, we can read the whole purport. If somebody would like to read the purport, I'm good for
Yes,
it.
Mataji.
You want me to read? I can read.
Yeah, we can read, Mataji.
Yeah.
Induleka, yeah, Kripamai Mataji, she's already raised her hand. Yeah, Mataji, do you want to read, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Mataji, do you like to share or else?
Let me give me a
I have
moment.
read till here, Bhaktaram Yagna Tapasam. Maybe you can continue from here. The Supreme Personality of Godhead. I'll just share the screen.
Thank you.
Is it visible?
Yes,
Mataji.
Yeah, I've read till here, so you can start from the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
The Supreme Personality, Hare Krishna, translation, purport by Prabhupada ki jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is actually the enjoyer, and therefore, if we begin our activities for His satisfaction, we will gradually lose our taste for material activities. Suda Goswami declared to the great assembly of sages at Naimisharanya, Ataha Pumbir Dvaja Stresta Varna Varnashrama Bibhigasam Swanushtistasya Dharmasya Smasiddhir Hari Samsiddhir Haridoshanam. O best among the twice born, it is concluded that the highest perfection one can achieve by discharging his prescribed duties, dharma, according to caste, divisions, and order of life, is to please the Lord Hari. Bhagavatam 1.2.13. According to Vedic principles, everyone must act according to his classification as Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, Brahmacharya, Grahata, Vanaprastha, or Sannyasi. Everyone should progress toward perfection by acting in such a way that Krishna will be pleased. Samsitir Haridoshanam. One cannot please Krishna by sitting idly. One must act according to the directions of the spiritual master for the sake of pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then one will gradually come to the stage of pure devotional service, as confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.12. Naishkarmyam api achyuta pava arjidam nashobhita jnanam alam niranjanam. Knowledge of self-realization, even though free from all material affinity, does not look well if devoid of a conception of the infallible God. Jnanis recommend that one adapt Naishkarmya or by not doing anything but simply meditating and thinking of the Brahman. But this is impossible unless one realizes Parabrahman, Krishna. If there is no Krishna consciousness, any kind of activity, be it philanthropic, political or social, simply causes karma bandhana, bondage to material work. As long as one is entangled in karma bandhana, one must accept different types of bodies that spoil the human form of facility. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita 6.3, Karma Yoga is recommended. Durukshormunir Yogam Karma Karanam Yuchati Yagurdasya Yogaruddasya Tasyaiva Samakaranam Uchati. If one who is neophyte in the yoga system, work is said to be the means, and for one who has already attained to yoga, cessation of all material activities is said to be the means. Nonetheless,
Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah.
Mataji?
Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Mataji. Thank you,
Mataji, you can
Mataji.
continue, Mataji.
Okay.
Karmendra, who's continuing, Mataji?
Mataji, Nandapriya Mataji, want to read?
Okay, Mataji. Thank you, Dandavat.
Yeah,
Thank you.
We have to take turns.
Mataji, you can go ahead, Mataji, please.
Okay,
Start.
Karmendriyani samyamya yam aste manasa smaran indriyarthan vimudhatma Mithyachara sa uchyate, one who restrains the senses and organs of action, but whose mind dwells on sense objects, certainly deluded himself and is called a pretender. Bhagavad Gita 3.6. One should act for Krishna very seriously in order to become fully Krishna conscious, and should not sit down to imitate such great personalities as Haridas Thakur, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur condemned such imitation. He said, दुष्टमन तुम्ही किसेरा वैष्णव प्रतिष्ठार तार निर्जनेर कर तव हरि नाम केवल कैटव. My dear mind, what kind of devotee you are? Simply for cheap adoration, you sit in a solitary place and pretend to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but this is all cheating. Recently, at Mayapur, an African devotee wanted to imitate Haridas Thakur, but after 15 days he became restless and went away. Do not suddenly try to imitate Haridas Thakur. Engage yourself in Krishna conscious activities, and gradually you will come to the stage of liberation. Murtir hitva nyatha rupam swarupena vyavastiti. Yeah, somebody else can go ahead.
Manjari Leela Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Can you scroll down, please, Mataji?
So the purport is over here, it says.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
I had covered most of the points from the purport, and over here, actually, why I did not take it on the next slide, because simply, cheap adoration, when I showed the last slide, it was actually merging with that particular slide. So that's why I did not actually take this. But yes, we don't want to do anything for cheap adoration. We want to be in the association. See, he's saying solitary place and pretend to chant Hare Krishna. No. The strength to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra will come only in the association of devotees. When you try to do anything devoid of the association of devotees, then our senses will cheat us. Our senses will try to, cheat us in a way that will say, okay, no need of doing this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You've done it for many, many years. Now, what is you are completely, pure devotee now. You don't need to, and pure devotees don't need to chant. That is why till the time you reach to the spiritual world, and even after reaching the spiritual world, we still need to be in the association of devotees. So if you see the gopis, the manjaris, the sakhis and all, they don't leave the association of devotees. They are completely always in the association of devotees only. They try to always remain in the association of devotees. And every soul in the spiritual world has a guru over there, spiritual master. And under that direction only, they will actually render service to the Supreme Lord. They'll render service over there to Krishna. That all service goes to Srimati Radharani, and Srimati Radharani collectively will, offer all our services to Shri Krishna, and that's how Krishna will become very happy over there. So that is why always be in the association of devotees and chant. Even at your home, if you don't have association, but you have a very pure devotee, sitting in your own home, and that is Srimati Tulsi Maharani, right from the spiritual world. You can chant in front of her and get the strength. Do we know that once, why in the temple hall, Prabhupada said that chant in front of Srimati Tulsi Maharani? Because she is the purest of the devotee. And our services to Krishna can be accepted only through her. So anybody who tries to chant in front of Tulsi Maharani, the rounds will be really very good. The focus rounds will be there. And you will see yourself eventually progressing also and advancing in Krishna consciousness. See, that is why, what is Prabhupada saying? Gradually you will come to the stage of liberation. On day 1, day 90, or a day, 2000, you won't come. It's a gradual process. Krishna conscious is a slow and a gradual process. That's what Prabhupada says. And that is why we don't need to jump. Let things unfold eventually and gradually. Okay. So I stop over here. So if anybody wants to ask any questions, definitely, you are free to ask me.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for such wonderful points. Yeah, Pralananda Prabhu, please go ahead with your question, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Then pranam to all, and thanks for the very wonderful discourse today. And that's one point came to my mind, and just would like to express that. And that is in the 8th chapter, Bhagavan Krishna says very clearly, Tasmat sarvesu kalesu mam anusmaryudhya mayarpit manobuddhi bhavevesyasi asansaya. So if we practice, which I try to do, is to constantly in every activity, whichever way, silently or whatever, we chant Hare Krishna mantra. Just any opportunity, Sasmat Sarves Goel is very advanced stage, but we should endeavor for that. And at least, one should be conscious of, that my duty is to chant Tasmat Sarvesu Kales. So as long as we are not under asleep or like that, and advanced devotees like Mirabai and others, they were even chanting and remembering Lord Krishna during the sleep. So this is what I was just wanting to share, Mother. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak.
For adding that. It was really valuable that, yes, whatever you are doing, whatever work you're doing, you please remember me while doing your work. As I previously also said that, even if I'm starting to study something or cook something or go out for my work or job or to my college, only if I say that this whole activity I dedicated to you, then of course, you're dedicating that whole thing to Krishna, and you're remembering Krishna most of the times as such. And Krishna will definitely see to it that that work does not bind you. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Any question?
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, anyone has any further realizations or questions with Mataji, please go ahead. Looks like no one has any questions, Mataji. Your class was so simple and clear. Wonderful, Mataji.
Thank you. Thank you,
Mataji. Okay,
Hare Krishna, Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All the Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for Mataji. Very, very wonderful class, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna. For giving me some seva. I can be of some use and of some service to the devotees. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much for such a wonderful class, and thank you for giving your very valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. We would like to end the call now, and we will offer our obeisances. Vansha kalpataru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Krishna Rupa Mataji ki jai.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Radhe Radhe.
Gauranga.
Radhe Radhe.